don't consider Russians as enemies. They liberated us from the fascism in the Second World War. We did not forget. We cannot forget how people were dying during the fascist era. And we are very proud of our Slovak national uprising in 1944. Suddenly, we are listening from our friends and colleagues from the West that you cannot discuss, you cannot have different opinion. You need to hate Russia. You need to hate everybody who is against American interest or European interest. This is something I really refuse. This is my opinion, and I think that we should discuss, especially when we are going to discuss about peace and war. Because I have 3 little children. I don't want to have a war here in Slovakia or in the European Union. I will do everything to stop the war or to stop spreading the war. There is no rationality in this thinking. I remember the times of Cold War. Okay, I was young, but still I read a lot of books. It was the time of ideological hatred, okay, but still enough common sense to avoid the nuclear war. Americans in the times of Reagan or Nixon, they didn't hate so much Russians, communist Russians, as today. Today they hate it. They want to create the illusion that this is a total war, like it was the war of against fascism, the Second World War. But this is absolutely a misconception. If we want to have a peace for future, and hopefully the earlier the better, we cannot see the rival or enemy or something like this, like total enemy, like somebody we need to eradicate. Of course, when the Russians see that we want to eradicate them, they will use all the means they have to stop us. It means nuclear weapons. And this is something just absolutely against rationality and common sense to enhance this kind of nuclear conflict. I don't understand the Western Europe today. Don't understand. You probably know that Slovakia is very open-minded as regards the dialogue with Russians and Belarus and other countries. We are very open-minded to BRICS countries. We were talking about BRICS, and we are not going to go to China and say to the 1 billion country that, okay, we think that you should do it like we want. It's a nonsense. It's a nonsense. We cannot teach them about human rights. It's not our task. We need to respect them. And in analytical terms, we are in ethical base, we are communitarians. Maybe you know the philosophy of Michael Walzer and other authors from the United States who are telling about the ethical particularism. Like in China, you have Confucian culture. In Russia, you have Orthodox culture. In Arab countries, it's more or less Muslim culture. In other countries, it's maybe different culture. We need to respect each other. It's not our task to tell Chinese or Russians or Brazilians if they did their homework as regards human rights or as regards liberties and blah blah. So we need to respect each other. I cannot imagine the world when Chinese will come to Brussels and will say, okay, we don't like your homosexual marriages. Let's change it. We will tell him, okay, it's our sovereignty. I'm crazy. But we are going to Beijing and saying them, okay, let's do it like we want. So this is something which we refuse. It's kind of communitarianism or particularism. This is our philosophy. First of all, this is our philosophy. That's why we are telling we want to have good relation on the north, on the south, on the west, on the